Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our special public council meeting, Thursday, June 15, 2023, here in town Torbay. Could I get a motion to adopt the agenda, please?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Minutes here from Administration, Human Resources Committee, and a motion here to deal with the collective agreement for 2022 to 2026. Hand it over to Rhonda. Councillor Manning.
Thank you, Mayor. So I'm not going to read the memo itself. I'm going to go on to the motion.
Just one sec.
Sorry.
Oh, yes, right. Conflict of interest. Councillor Goss.
So I just wanted to be sure, and I want to get council to get their perception of this. So my son Samuel works at the Common currently, and I just want to make sure that whichever way I vote on this issue is not considered a conflict of interest. Again, depending on which way things go, I just want to make sure that with him working there, that my vote is not considered a conflict in this matter.
Right, so you told me about this today, and I thought about it.
Yep.
So I don't think that the result of a vote can determine conflict. The vote itself, whatever the motion is what the conflict would be. This motion has to deal with, this motion exclusively to deal with the union staff, which your son is not a member of, and it potentially could have impact on the regular full-time staff, which also your son is not a member of. So he's a part-time student employee with a fixed rate of pay. That's not going to change depending on this. So my opinion is no conflict there.
And just to, I guess, kind of rebut that, so for example, if worst case scenario, this motion doesn't succeed and the Common is closed down for some reason, and he's out of a job. So this is why I just want to make sure that I am not in a conflict here, and I want to make sure everybody's aware of what's going on. So I'd like for council to take a vote on this to make sure that I am not in a conflict on this.
Okay.
Thank you.
So do anybody else have any?
So can I just ask the question, I guess is more probably for the CAO. Will the increase here have anything to do with the increase of the summer staff in any way, shape, or form? Because usually whatever the union gets, the clerks and directors have in the past got it. So will that have an impact eventually on the summer staff?
Not on day camp staff
okay.
or Killico staff or part-time program staff at the Common. There's
Okay.
no, the increment is not applied to them. They have a fixed rate of pay.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, so we need a motion then, to that effect. Someone,
We'll make a motion, okay,
great.
that Councillor Goss is not in conflict of interest in relation to the new collective agreement coming into effect on October 1st, 2022 to September 30th, 2026.
Okay, seconder?
Second.
All right, any other discussion?
Just a
Go
question
ahead.
of, if it
I can't
didn't.
hear what's there. I don't know if I was speaking into their.
Oh,
Can you
sorry.
hear me, Tony?
Did you hear what Councillor Goss said?
I didn't hear anything that was said prior to what you just said.
Oh, okay. So, all right, so we got the motion. Councillor Goss is wondering if he, can you hear me, Tony?
I can now, yeah.
All right, so Councillor Goss is wondering, because his son works at the day camp, if he could potentially be in a conflict of interest on voting on this motion regard to the,
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, he works there currently,
yeah.
so
currently.
not just because day camp starts
No,
in
I
the
know,
future.
he's there currently
Yes.
as part-time student employee. And he was wondering if he was potentially in a conflict voting on this motion tonight. And we confirm with CAO that the wage increases don't affect summer student employees. That's the basic gist of it.
He's more there
There's
than
conflict
summer.
there.
Oh.
Anyway,
I don't think so either. Any other questions or discussion? Go ahead.
yeah, so I just want a clarification on the point of what is his employment status? Because I understand from Counselor Ward, it's not a summer student. He's currently employed there, so is it a part-time? What is the position? And the second question I have is to Counselor Goss's question about if the common were to be closed tomorrow, would there be a financial impact to him? Because that's a legitimate ask, and that could be potential for a conflict. So I just wanted to ask a clarification on what his actual position is, so we're very, very clear on that. And then if it were to be closed, would his pay be impacted? Because if his pay would be impacted if the common were closed, then there is a potential from my view. So I just want to get clarification on that if I could before I vote, please.
So right now he's currently part-time program staff, working directly in programs. He'll switch next week to summer day camp staff, and then it depends on the fall, potentially go back to part-time program staff. If this went, I guess, if Torbay Common did close for any reason, there could be potentially impacts to his financial, I guess, employment, potentially.
Thank you, Jen.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
and I can't hear anybody there now.
You can't hear anything now? Did you hear Trina?
When you speak into your microphone, I pick it up better if you're right in next to it, but
Okay.
other than that, it's just like the computer is picking up the voice from just like I could hardly hear if that was Ron speaking nor what Trina had said.
Okay, so what Trina asked, I'll give you some clarification because you can hear me, is that if the common closed tomorrow, you can hear me still?
No, you're breaking up too.
All right, Tony, I'm gonna phone you and get you on the phone, all right?
Okay, I'll put mine.
Okay.
I need to do myself in.
Can you hear us now, Counselor Pollard? No?
No.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. So, Trina, did you want to repeat what it was you said? See if Tony can hear you?
Yeah, sure. Tony, can you hear me?
Try, go ahead.
Okay, so the question I asked was, one, what was Ward's son's actual position, so we could have clarification on that. And two, the second question that I had was, if the common were to close, would there be a potential impact to his pay? And Jen had clarified, and I'll toss it over to Jen.
So the answer was that right now currently he's part-time program staff, working directly in programs. Next week he'll switch to summer day camp staff, and then in the fall, potentially, depending on how things go, potentially back as a part-time program staff again. And if for any reason Torbay Common did close, there could potentially be some financial, I guess, impacts to him.
So did you hear that?
I did.
Right. So that's a little different scenario.
And that's what I was really getting to because obviously that if he's not working, then the onus falls to me as a parent. And as a counselor, there is a financial impact,
Okay.
potential.
So I'll ask, do you feel that you're in a conflict? If you feel you're in a conflict, I think that
In
you
the
should,
pit of my stomach, I feel, yes, I am in conflict on this issue.
then I would tend to agree with you.
Based on what you just said.
Yep.
So
So we're
there's a
gonna
motion
finish
on the table.
So the motion is on the table to say that he's not in a
Yeah.
conflict. All right, we'll take the vote. All in favor that Councillor Goss is not in a conflict? Opposed? Carried. So Councillor Goss is in a conflict on this issue. You don't have to leave the room, you can stay there.
Okay.
And we'll move forward. Back to the chair.
Thank you.
So we almost don't have somebody working.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Tony, can you hear me?
I can, yes, ma'am.
Sorry. I'm going to read the motion here now. Be it resolved that approval be given to the Chief Administrative Officer / Town Clerk to execute the collective agreement between the Town of Torbay and Teamsters Local 855 for the period of October 1st, 2022 to September the 30th, 2026 as negotiated. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments?
I'd just like to just make a comment with regards to Monday night, that this didn't go through because we needed to get clarification on one of the articles that are there. So I just wanted to put that out there so that everyone is aware of that. And we did meet on Tuesday night. And of course, I'm speaking in favor of this. It's unfortunate that it took so long to get through, but I'm in support of it.
Yep. Okay.
I would just want to start right out the gate with my concern about the process for
Well,
this.
I-
Mayor, I've got the floor,
Just,
and
I just
have
want to
the
caution,
right-
I just want to caution you first before you do. That this, to me, the collective bargaining process is something that's, it's done in confidence between the council through our representatives bargaining and the bargaining unit and their representatives do the bargaining. We don't do our collective bargaining in public. This is a HR-related issue, which also we don't discuss details of in public.
Again, can I continue
Go
to
ahead.
speak now,
I just
please?
want to just put that out there. that's
Thank
all.
you.
Go ahead.
So the concern that I was going to raise does not have to do with the negotiation between the union and the municipality itself. The concern that I have is that there was never a directive given by the town officially on how this process was to unfold. It is my understanding, and I asked the question, where and when was a decision made not to bring in a third-party negotiator? And I was informed via email that there was a committee meeting and committee members decided that there would not be a third-party negotiator brought into this process. So I've gone back, I've looked at the records. There is no motion anywhere that I'm aware of that ratifies the direction of how this negotiation has unfolded that was directed as per the town council. So I just want to put that on record and be clear about my concerns with that part of the process, because we don't have a decision officially from the town about how this was to unfold. The second thing, I've participated in conversations throughout the process. I have had concerns that I've brought forward in the discussion. I've learned, I've listened, I've been a part of this. At the end of the day, my understanding with the information that I have is that this deal is not a deal that I'm able to support this evening that's in the best interest of the organization. So I won't get into the details of anything that transpired, but what I will say is I've attended the meetings, I've done my homework, I've listened, I've asked questions, and I've dug into it, and I have concerns that cause me to not be able to support the motion this evening. And those are my comments on it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
No.
Tony, just. Okay.
No, I'm not gonna wade into that, no.
All right, I'll just echo Deputy Mayor's sentiment that I'm glad that we're getting this done tonight, or at least bringing it forward. You know, it's taken longer than what we had hoped, I know our last collective bargaining agreement was done in less than a week, you know, and this one took a little longer, I guess, with parts with combining with the common and with our public works staff, so I'm just happy that it's done. Okay, call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Now, could I get a motion to adopt the minutes? Please, HR, Admin and Human Resources meeting minutes, please.
So moved.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, thank you. All right. Where are we to? Q&A. We have anybody that wants to ask a question? Oh, okay, thank you. I was asked by the HR chair to call a special public council meeting for Monday. What's the date, Don?
June the 19th.
Monday, June the 19th, to deal with increases for non-union staff. So that'll be scheduled. Don sent out a meeting invite, and we'll deal with that on Monday.
Thank you.
All right, could I get a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, thank you.